Hi everyone, today we're going to look at I can multiply fractions, and the first one we're going to do is negative 3/5 times 2/4. And I really like multiplying fractions because they're very quick. We don't have to worry about getting a common denominator. We can just jump right in. So if we think back to our unit 1 when we were multiplying integers, we used punched in the I guy, and that is going to be a handy strategy here with fractions as well. So in this case, we have a negative 3/5 times a positive 2/4. So a negative times a positive leaves us with a negative. So my final answer will be a negative. And then with multiplying fractions, you just multiply your numerators, multiply your denominators, and then simplify. So 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 4 is 20. So 6/20, and then I go ahead and I simplify that. So I can divide both the top and bottom by 2. These are both even numbers. And I get 3/10. And I think that's as simplified as I can get. So I'm going to go over here to my final answer box, remembering that it was a negative. So negative 3/10. All right. Let's keep on trucking here and take a look at the next problem. This one is going to be a negative 8, parentheses, negative 2/7. Now, when we have a number right next to a set of parentheses, that means to multiply. Don't get confused and think that this is a subtraction problem. But this time I have a whole number times a fraction. Well, it's still multiplication, so I'm still going to use that punched in the I guy. And it's a negative times a negative, so my final answer will be a positive. So I'm just going to make my final answer box down here and don't have any symbol at all, so I won't forget. All right, I can't just multiply my numerators and my denominators because my whole number doesn't have a denominator, but I can change that by putting it over 1. Negative 8 over 1 is equivalent to negative 8, so that's fair game. I can know that my final answer will be the same. So now let's just go ahead. 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times that 7 is 7. 16/7 is my answer, but that's not in simplest form. I'm going to take that top dog and put him in the dog house. And so the 7 will go on the outside. 7 goes into 16, not quite 3 times, so 2 times would give me 14. So it goes in there 2 times with a remainder of 2. So I have 2 whole times that fit in there with a remainder of 2, leaving me with 2/7. So I go on over to my final answer box. Negative 8 times negative 2/7 is 2 2/7. All right, let's do one more example here, and I'm going to show you a nice little shortcut that you don't always have to use, but it really helps when simplifying at the end. It kind of saves you some steps. So this problem is 15/20 times a negative 4/5. So we're multiplying, so I'm going to go ahead and do my punched in the I guy. It is a positive times a negative, so my final answer will be negative. This is kind of a shortcut so that we don't have to simplify at the end. And what I'm going to do is, we call this ninja simplifying, because it's kind of, you check your corners. So I'm going to check 15 and 5 and see, is there any number I can divide 15 and 5 both by and get a whole number? And it would be 5. So I'm going to divide by 5, and that becomes a 3. And I'm going to divide this one by 5, and that becomes a 1. Okay, so now I'm dealing with 3/20 times negative 4 over 1. So that actually is a much easier problem, but I'm going to go ahead and check my other corners as well. So 20 and 4 is there a number that I can simplify 20 and 4? So divide each one of those by and get a whole number. And it would be 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. So now my new problem is 3/5 times 1 over 1, which is so much simpler. So now I'm going to go back to just multiplying straight across. I have 3 times 1 is 3, and 5 times 1 is 5. And it's already in simplest form. And so that's what this Ninja simplifying does, is it allows you to simplify the problem before the numbers get so large, and then you don't have to worry about it at the end. So my final answer is -3/5. I hope that helps in multiplying fractions. Don't forget our strategy of punch in the eye guy. And then this third example we did even introduced this strategy of Ninja simplifying.